Welcome to SC Custom Designs. I want to thank you for coming to the wood shop. We're going to show you a really simple project, and that is making shelves. This is going to be for my wife's sewing room. She needs more shelves in the sewing room, and it's really a matter, in my mind, getting a nice, good quality piece of plyboard. It can be expensive, but worth it. And it needs to be smooth and not rough, with all the the fabric that's going to be going onto it and various things. So this is really simple. It's going to be a quick video. Essentially, I'm going to take you out the mount. I'll show you the tools that you need. Okay. We'll just start over here. These are what we call bandy clamps. These are from Rockler, and they're really stellar for doing one thing: holding something in place, just like that. And so I'm going to use them initially to just hold this guy in place, and then we're going to use the pin gun. The pin gun is going to receive 3/4 inch pins. I'm trying to get by my little clamp here. And if you haven't noticed, check it out. We just did a little bit of a reorg. This unit actually was in my wife's sewing room, and one day she just declared she doesn't need it anymore, want it. And so I was thrilled because I got to inherit this thing. All I had to do was cut off the bottom so that it would fit underneath the duct here in the wood shop here. So I very quickly just threw some things on there that I'm using all the time. Some things that we're not using will be maybe more toward the bottom, whatever. So it was really handy to have that. Already it's giving of itself, because I'm like, well, how big are these screws? Oh, let's just set it right against there. So that's 3/4 inch for these pins. So yeah, that was a lot of fun to do that today. So this here is called the Airstrike Ryobi. It's looking quite used, and you just set the pins in like so. If you didn't have to hold the camera, it would be done already. So there we go. Just throw that in there like so. All right. And the battery, we won't put it in there until we actually need it. You get a sander, which is very convenient for just sanding very carefully the tops of the plyboard, so you can make sure that that's all ready to go. And of course, you're going to need some glue. All right, so let's go ahead and mount you and talk about maybe some other things we didn't mention, and that is sorry about the blurry, everybody. There he goes. To make these strips here, we simply run some pine through the table saw, which is over there, and we just rip off. I like to rip off more than I need, because it's just a great rule of thumb on any given day. Make it a little bit bigger, and then go down and get it to the size that you want it to be. So we have those ready to do. So I've got several of these to do. Without further ado, let's go ahead and just put a bead of glue on here. If this is the first time that you've come into the shop, we want to thank you for tuning in. Please know that there are almost 700 videos on a variety of subjects. As I pan around my wood shop and you see a tool, I probably did a review on it. Okay, so now you could go old school on this and just rub that with your hands, or you can grab one of these. You would think I'm sponsored by Rockler, but many companies make these little spread-on applicators for glue. So we're going to go ahead and just spread that out. Makes it a real quick job for something like this. All right, I'm using Titebond 2 wood glue. Yep. So I'd rather put a little bit too much glue on than not enough. All right, so that's that. Very simple to do, isn't it? Throw that in there. Here's what I'm going to do is use the bandy clamps. Let's flip it over first, that would be good. Flip it over and set it on. I made it a little bit longer on either end. And what I want to do is take my bandy clamp and push them down and then start orienting the edge. So in other words, pull it in so that it's nice and flush there. You might want to go just a little bit proud. That way you can always just use a trim router and get that fixed up real quick. Okay, be surprised how fast the glue sets up, especially when you start to give it some pressure. And really, I'm just going to have these bandy clamps in place to just enough time to clamp. Really all of an inch put in. In theory, I could just leave the bandy clamps and go get a few more and call it a day. Well, I really don't have enough bandy clamps. I don't recall them being inexpensive. So there you go. And again, the beauty of the bandy clamps is it's just holding the stock in place. You don't have to worry about it sliding around and all that sort of thing. So that's pretty cool. I like it. Then I'm going to just come along and put a few choice pins in here. Remember, don't have your battery in your tools when they're not in use, so you don't have any accidents. Okay, just make sure you're going straight up and down. Oop, he's not firing. There he goes. All right. I'm going to go about every 12 inches. Not going to lose any sleep over exact measurements. Nice thing about the pin gun, it just sets it in there. Just have one last look, make sure that it didn't move. I remember many a day when I'm putting trim on and the darn thing moved on me while I was pinning. So that's not a problem with the bandy clamps. Okay, let's take them off. And then I'm going to look and see where he may have lifted, or he may need a little bit more encouragement. In the same way, I'd rather have more than enough glue. I'd rather have more than enough pins. hard to fill those in with a little putty. Not a problem. All right, I'm looking good here. So now we're going to clean up. Very, very easy thing to do to make your own shells. I'll be finishing this with Danish oil. Just I believe a clear Danish oil. That's really all you need to do. All right, thanks for coming into the shop at Custom Designs. This is my first official work in 2020. It is New Year's Day, January 1st, and we are already doing things. We'll be making quite a few things in 2020. Maybe the items, I don't know what I'm making yet because the customer comes and says, I'd like this, please. All right, thanks for coming to the shop. I just have one long one and two short ones, which is about half these size to do next. So, all right, got any questions, please ask. It's pretty simple. And thanks for coming to the shop. Subscribe, hit the thumbs up. We appreciate that. And thank you very much. Bye-bye. Oh yeah, my new thing. Bye-bye. Shalom. Tot ziens. Zaijian. Hasta luego.